All right, students, this is the last of the few slides I have in population geography, so we're almost done. Your textbook has a few of these pictures in its pages, and I wanted to look at what humans have done to the environment. The environment impacts us as well, but these pictures right here do depict human actions, and this has been called the Anthropocene. Speaking of humans as a geological agent, this is getting some traction because people do believe that whenever our species does die, go away, extinct, whatever, that we will leave a record behind of what we did to the environment. I can offer some good books. There's, in fact, I've uploaded one, World Without Us, by Weiss, Alan Weitz, and it's there in the course if you want to read it in PDF form. But of all the things that we've done here to shape the earth to fit our needs, going back again to that Judeo-Christian angle, but in the upper left-hand corner, you see the difference between Haiti and the Dominican Republic on the island of Hispaniola. The denuded hillsides are a very heavily overpopulated Haiti. The green trees on the other side is a different country altogether, Dominican Republic. And there's a few reasons why Haiti is the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere, and it was largely because modern states made it so when they fought back against their French oppressors and slave masters and killed them, and ripped the white color off the flag. Toussaint, I believe, was the revolt leader's name. But what did we make them do? Well, France said, you owe us money. We lost money in the deal. And America said, yeah, we're going to put embargoes. We're going to trade with you. We're going to do all these things to you until you pay them money you owe them. Mind you, they were slaves. So not only did they have to fight for their freedom, they also had to pay for it after the fact. It's not to say that they haven't dug their own graves of a sort, too, with terrible leadership. Look back in the Papa Doc and Baby Doc eras of the Duvaliers. In more recent times, though, hurricanes, of course, and more importantly, earthquakes have hurt these people as well. So natural disasters, too. But that said, there's way too many people here in a way too poor country. In the upper right-hand corner, this is Mexico City. And those buildings have changed because of the water that's underneath them. This is an older, as you can see how old the cars are. It is an older picture, but it hasn't gotten any better. Mexico City is second only to Japan in the number of people that live there, and they are drawing out the finite amount of water that's in the aquifers underneath it. And so where the aquifer is thicker, then subsidence happen, and so it settles down after the water's been pulled out. And there's been problems all over this city because of that. And having clean, potable water, potable is drinkable water, safe water supplies is a growing, imperiling threat for a lot of human communities across the planet. In the lower left-hand corner, you can see that we cut into hillsides. That's spilling out over the road. That's been a mass wasting event, landslide. And this is us building our roads, building our houses, farming and whatnot. The fire. This is the historic wildfires that have eaten up millions of acres in California and Oregon and places. That's of our own doing. Now, I'm not saying drought doesn't happen and fire doesn't happen, but we suppressed fire. Remember Smokey the Bear? Only you can prevent forest fires. That's what I grew up with, eating my Fruity Pebbles on Saturday morning. You don't burn anything. Proper forest management absolutely includes fire. In fact, some of those western species of trees won't propagate without fire to open up the cones of like bristlecone pines and some of the different species. So when you have that much fuel for decades, and the fires take off, we're getting help from Mexico and Canada. We're having inmates shorten their their stay in prison to become firefighters to help with this. It's going to be probably billions of dollars in damage. The approach wasn't good. And some of this, we made our own bed. We lived well beyond our means. And it is unfortunate. California and these western states are just beautiful, but without proper management, sustainable management, what is the longevity for these places? I'm not sure. Okay, so moving forward, and again, I'm having a terrible time advancing this stupid computer. Oh my gosh. Okay, and it went the wrong way. No, it didn't. I pushed the wrong button, didn't I? There we go. Okay. All right. You've got this map in your textbook too. Environmental refugee is now becoming more of a reality. It was coined by Essam El Hinawi, and it's people who have to leave their homes because of problems with the ecosystems. So if you look out at Tuvalu, they've got it on the map because some of those islands are so low, coral islands, that you can't live on them anymore. Storm surges and high tides are problematic. This president of these islands right here, called the Maldives off the coast of India, he begged all of the people of the developing states to please curtail your energy usage and all this, your carbon emissions. We're dying here, and they've had to actually bring in debris to make runways long enough to land, planes here. Think about these flooded river valleys and stuff too. Think about the glaciers that are being lost off of the Tibetan highlands. It's feeding the Ganges and the Brahmaputra rivers. There's another river here too going through Pakistan called the Indus. The Yangtze out here in the yellow, the Mekong, all of these are fed by high elevation glaciers. Once those glaciers are melted, those rivers don't exist anymore. Okay, big changes up on the top of the earth too. In the Arctic, we can see wildfires running crazy in places like eastern Siberia, and we've seen, it's not that they've never happened before, but the summers being long and hot, and that tundra being exposed, not with ice cover, say, in Greenland. I've seen fires going there as well. So this is hitting lots of different places. It isn't fair either. If you look at the Sahel means the edge or the shore of the great sand sea. It's not even a sand sea. That is the Sahara. But the point is, it's a transition between a very dry area and a very wet area. And it's a tender ecosystem, though. And you may have only a few people living there, but even one or two more mouths to feed is still too many for a sparse, vegetative, and environment like that. So population pressures in these areas, that's on them. But we're going to see that the developed world, countries of the world, can stand change better, longer because of our technology. It's these other people in poorer countries that didn't really cause the mess. I already told you it takes 4 Earths for me. These guys right here are burning cattle dung and trees, tree limbs mostly. That's it. They don't have a carbon footprint compared to me at all. And I have to admit, it's not fair. Do I fix anything by giving up my lifestyle? No. We have to do it en masse. We have to do it as a people, as a culture. We would have to agree that we need change. And so to kind of wrap this up, moving in from the environmental to the settlement types here, whether it's Amsterdam and the boats, which is really true of the canals, since a lot of their habitable areas around Amsterdam and places like that would be underwater if it weren't for the dams and dikes that they built, or in Australia, or within Japan, the lower left-hand corner, that's right in Tokyo, or in Mongolia, where they still have nomadic pastoralism as a key component. So what do we see with all of these different people in all these different places? We still see people trying to get by, but that depopulation for a place as great as Rome. Take and read your Roman history. I've toured these ruins, and that historic city is just beautiful. But you could never guess that a thriving city for the better part of 1,000 years would be wholly depopulated, because of the way they ran things. Heavy slave society and the way they used land settlement and farmers. Everybody lived basically in the city itself, but was sacked by Alaric and the Visigoths. I guess what I'm saying is, you don't see America falling from its pedestal, but they all fall. The point is to be able to see that falling is happening, and to arrest that fall if at all possible. And to do that requires incredible leadership, incredible sacrifice, incredible change. So I'll leave that as my, my coda for this chapter, and we will see you in the next one. So I hope chapter 3 was enjoyable. All right, see you later, guys. Bye-bye.